Hey, my name is Kayatina and in this video I'm going to review Chaos met Autisme by Sigrid Landman. Chaos met Autisme is an autism memoir, but it's more like different sections. We call these columns in Dutch, but I think in English it's more, I guess you can think of it like a blog post. It's not really a blog post, but like short articles, if that makes sense. Like, so each one is a couple pages long. This is actually the sequel to the author's debut book, which was Moederen met Autisme. The author is autistic and she has an autistic daughter and an autistic husband. And so book one was kind of like more the beginning when she just had her baby. But I haven't read book one. I had both of them on my library wish list and I came across this one in the library, so I decided to borrow it. It's definitely readable without having read the first one. She explains a lot of everything. Here's a picture of... I really like this book. I could relate to quite a few things, which I really appreciated. I really felt for her and for her daughter. One thing I will say is I wasn't too keen on the husband. He's also autistic, and based on what I've read in here, he seems to be a bit more like old-fashioned and not so feministic. That's probably not really... What I mean is, like, the mother does a lot of the cleaning in the house, whereas she has a job, he has a job, and she writes. And it was like the husband is expecting her to do all the cleaning. I'm not sure I'm explaining this all that well. And I'm happy for them that they are all happy together as a family. But personally, I could not be with someone who, like, is not a feminist, if that makes sense. Who thinks women should clean the house and cook. And, like, I totally believe it should be, like, if both of the partners have a job, then I feel like they should also both contribute to cleaning the house and everything. You can divide tasks and just, I don't know, just the way her husband complained about her in this book sometimes just didn't quite sit right with me. But I'm happy that they're happy together and that's all that matters. It wouldn't work for me, but I'm happy that they're happy together. And I felt for the mother when she says that she is, you know, overloaded and chaotic and she has trouble organizing things, and I'm like, the husband expects her a lot, but he could just help her. But he is also autistic, and I don't know as much about him. The book was more about obviously the mother, who is the author, and the daughter, and there wasn't as much talked about the husband. Maybe that is in the other book. And I found out she has also written a novel, which she talks about in this book. Obviously, I immediately wanted to read it because the novel is also about an autistic person, and it's about bullying. The author was actually really bullied when she was younger. And anyway, so I really liked this memoir. I couldn't relate to everything, but I could relate to a lot, and that just means so much to me. I could never... I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't have any children and I don't want any children. I've never wanted them. Even when I was a kid, I never really connected with like babies or anything, whereas my sister did do that. I have a younger sister and a younger brother, and I remember when my mum was pregnant with my brother, my sister was really a lot more into it than I was, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want children. That's not saying I want for myself. And I couldn't. It would just be way too tough. So I felt for the mother when she explains that sometimes it's just really difficult, and yeah, how she deals with everything, but how, you know, they really love each other. She really loves her daughter, and it was just really nice. So, since I enjoyed this one quite a lot, I had to look it up. This is a library loan, so I looked up the author's other books, and I have ordered them all now because I really like this and I want to read the rest of it. My library doesn't have all of it. So I think she has written, I want to say 6 books at this point. When her daughter was a baby, when she was about, I think the book said about 9 months old, the mother she couldn't take it anymore and she ran away from home, and she ended up in bars, we call that here. It's like a kind of psychiatric hospital, sort of. I'm not entirely sure how you would describe this in other languages. I haven't been there myself, so I can only speak of what I hear. I've read actually 2 other books in which the author, she went there. They were non-fiction. But so I don't really know how it compares to other countries. But anyway, this author has written a book about her time there as well. So I have plans on reading that sometime as well. So then you'll hear more about it. I don't really relate in the sense that this author, she really constantly goes over her own limits, if that makes sense. And she also seeks that out. And I'm a bit more careful, I think. But yeah, it was just really nice to read about all this. I do find it interesting to read about people with children and how that works. And I like to read about it in like fiction books, but also in non-fiction books. It's just, I guess, a way for me to experience that a little bit and hear about it without actually having like myself, because it's just not for me. But I do like to read about it, if that makes sense, and learn about it. And it is really, really sunny in here. I hope you can see me alright, because my eyes are starting to squint. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that I liked this one so much, because I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm glad I liked it so much. So, of course, in the end, it did lead to me buying more books, which is on one hand a plus, and on the other hand, this is a library loan and it made me buy more books. So, but I am looking forward to those when they get there and when I get around to reading them. But yeah, I really like this. It is published by a small publisher. I don't know if I would call them an indie publisher or not. I'm not sure what qualifies as that, but it's a relatively small publisher, so it is also nice to support that, I think. It was really nice to read about her daughter as well. Now I know the author's name is a pseudonym. I don't know her daughter in the book is called Kim, and I don't know if that is also a pseudonym or not, but either way. Also, some of the articles in this, like all of these articles, have been previously published on Hives years ago. This book came from 2011, and sometimes after a few of the articles, there are, I don't know if you can see that, where these H's are. The author has included some reactions that she got on the post. That happens a few times throughout the book, and I thought that was nice. It was interesting to see these other people's viewpoint and opinion. But yeah, so in short, I really like this, and I am pleasantly surprised, because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, and I really did. So that's good. Hey, this is me a little while later. I forgot to mention that I absolutely loved the chapter in the book on New Year's Eve and fireworks, because I can so relate to that. I really don't like fireworks, don't like New Year's Eve, way too noisy. So I really loved that part of it. But I forgot to say that, so here you go. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!